Good evening, everybody. Please, can someone confirm they can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good evening, Nada.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to our final class for this session. So we're just going to put a wrap to everything today for this class. First of all, I just want to appreciate everybody for going on this journey with me, right? Honestly, this class was a moment's thought. I was like, why not do it? And I was really surprised by the turnout and all of that. And yes, it's been a fun ride for me. I've learned a lot more than you know, right? I've learned a lot. I've improved myself, and I really appreciate, right? So we're just gonna do a round, a roundup. Look at all the previous datas that. All the previous topics that we've discussed and see what we can do, right? Okay, so when we started the class on the first day, we talked about becoming tax compliant, right? And we discussed the taxes that we owe, right? And on some of the lists, we said there are four common taxes, which is the company income tax, the personal income tax, the withholding tax, and the value added tax, right? And while we've mentioned that, we made sure to understand, okay, which taxes are we owing and for who, right? The company income tax, we established that that one is to the federal government. Value added tax is to the federal government. Withholding tax, now, depending on who you're charging, is either the federal government. So you're charging a company, you pay to the federal government. If you're charging an individual, you pay to the state government. Okay. That's basically that. And we also discussed some of the penalties for not filing, compliance, how to comply. We established that the transactional tax, which is value added tax and withholding tax, are all monthly taxes, right? Those are the ones that you file monthly, while the income taxes, the personal income tax, and the company income tax are the ones you file annually, right? On the next day, we basically took a deeper dive on personal income tax, and we established that the personal income tax is basically into two: the payee, which is for people who have full-time employment, and personal income tax, which is PIT, for people who do businesses. And because they understand that those people do not have a steady income, right? They are expected to file annually, as against people who have a steady income, salary earners that file on a monthly basis, right? And we also discussed the percentage, the scale where from 800,000, you are basically, what's it called now? You are exempted. Then if you add your allowance, that takes your money to about 1.3 million naira. It means that if you earn 1.3 million naira or less, you are not expected to pay anything. Then the next chunk of money that enters on top, you're expected to remit 15%. And the next, from 15%, it goes to 18%. From there, you talk about 21%. And finally, 25%, right? For people over 50 million. And we also had the opportunity, while discussing about personal income tax, to discuss about the biggest debate of them all, according to the taxes, in which is the business name and the limited liability saga, right? And I have stated in all my classes that the business name do not pay income tax, right? And thinking about it now, first thing you want to ask yourself is what what taxes do the different tax authorities, right, actually collect. So for the FIRS, which is the federal tax body, what they collect from you is company income tax and value added tax with withholding tax, right? They don't collect tax on business name income. So if they don't charge you tax on business name income, it means that you are not owing that to the federal government. Now, if you will now look at the side of the state government, which charges tax, personal income tax, right? You don't have the jurisdiction to charge businesses, quote and unquote, income tax. So that in itself, even without the law and all of those things, that in itself has already given a loophole to business name holders. That's why I've been saying that nobody's going to charge you tax on your business name, right? It's basically how much you're paying yourself on the business. That is what you declare as your income and you pay tax on it. Okay. I hope I've been able to clarify that, especially for those who are, what's it called now, who are looking to make a decision on whether to switch or not to switch. Then again, we talked about company income tax, where we established that from 50 million naira and above, you have turnover 50 million naira and above, you're liable to the tax. You should be charging things like VAT and all of that. And she also wanted to know that the 50 million naira threshold also applies to business thing, right, for transactional taxes. So once you're making over 50 million naira, you should be charging VAT and withholding tax on transactions that are vatable and also have a withholding tax applied, right? And I shared a file where you have all of those the tax exempt, the VAT exempt, and basically withholding taxes, right? Transactions that you charge withholding taxes on. Okay. Also, we talked about deductible expenses and non-deductible expenses, and we established that deductible expenses, when it comes to income tax, are expenses that are incurred wholly and solely for the purpose of the business, right? And a very good example would be operational expenses, professional fees, salaries, selling expenses, repairs, logistics, basically anything that directly involves your business, right? And we struck out things like donations, we struck out things like what's it called? Depreciation, we struck out directors, personal expenses, and all of those things. Okay, um, that's about that. And then for transactional taxes, we took a deep dive again on value added tax and withholding tax. We discussed value added tax, which is a transactional tax on your sales, aka turnover, right? So if you're selling a valuable item, you're expected to charge 7.5 to your customers when they come to buy from you, right? And for withholding tax, depending on the transaction, you're expected to charge 30 percentage. I have provided that in the PDF I had shared on that date, right? Then we discussed filing of taxes. Okay, I think this filing of taxes, I did not really do any display, but let me see if I can do a bit of, especially for people who be filing zero, people who basically do not owe any taxes. Let me see if I can get a minute. Let me see if I can get any profile with pending tax liability on it. John, I don't file all my taxes.
While you're searching, please, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, so you know how currently you're supposed to be filing VAT if you're already doing, I think, 25 million. So
Yes.
if a business is currently filing VAT, right, and as of next year they said, oh, it is now going to be 50 million, right, if you
Okay.
are up to 50 million, and that business that was doing the 25 is still within that same 25 to 50, is the
Okay.
person still going to continue filing VAT, or should they just stop until they now get to the 50? What are they supposed to do if they are still less than that 50 as a next year?
You will not stop filing, you just be filing zero.
Okay, but most times if you file zero, don't they start sending you letters to bring your statement and
And
all
so
of that?
if you are not up to 50, you prove that you're not up to 50 now. So that's where compliance comes in, right? As long as you're doing business, the tax man believes that everybody is above 50. So it's up to you to say, no, I'm not doing 50, right? So when they write a letter, you know, ask for your bank statement for a business name. That's basically what they ask for because they know that you don't have audited reports, right? So you share your bank statement with them to prove that you are not doing over 50 million. That's basically how it works.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So even if you are a normal small, even sometimes the very small business that are not doing this just to check and you have to prove that, oh, okay, oh, I've never reached 25 million, right? That's basically is proving your case is up to you. I'm trying to see if I can get. Uh,
Can I ask a
okay,
question?
sure.
Okay, thank you. Mina, I've there's this saga going on Instagram and TikTok. You know, people are just sort of confused as to are they supposed to? I know you've mentioned it on this call, but can you please still, throw more light on it? Are they supposed to switch from their business name because a lot of people are coming up doing videos and saying that um, if you are a business name registered enterprise, that what you're supposed to pay is personal income taxes based on the percentages that the government has given, the first 800 and all of that is the taxes that the business name is going to be paying in 2026. Not necessarily VAT, even if they meet up to the 50 million threshold, but that they are seen as their taxes are personal income taxes for a business name registered company or business. So they are sort of encouraging businesses everybody that has the business name registration should please switch to the limited liability to avoid them paying taxes as paying their income. The income that comes, any income that comes into the bank statement is a personal income tax. So please, sir, can you shed more light to that?
No, okay. Let me share one of my comments because uh, so basically, like I have been trying to explain, right? Even right now, besides the fact that how would I put it now? There is income tax, right? And it's called personal income tax. The one is not called business name income tax. So I understand the fact that yes, the law recognizes the business name owner, and that's I'm not a lawyer, but when it comes to tax, right? That's recognition of how would I put it now? Business name and limited liability. Why they say okay, the business name is treated as an individual is basically because by law, limited liability is seen as a separate entity, like as its own person, while the business name is seen as is more like an extension of they're just giving you a legal name to operate, right? It's seen as one and the same person. But when it comes to taxes, right? And even in this course or the previous classes, we've had. Let me even see if I can show you. Right, the best way to actually look at it, right? The best way to actually look at it to make it simple to devote yourself from all of the confusion. You want to ask yourself, right? What are the different taxes available? right? Let's start from there. We have company income tax. Okay. Who charges company? Okay, I think let me never go forward. We're talking about personal income tax, Abby. So we're asking ourselves, who charges, who is in charge of personal income tax? The state, right? The state now, the state government does not have the authority to be looking at your business books and be asking you for your business income. The state is not in charge of business income. The state is only in charge of your personal income. And the federal government, which is FRS, right, while it collects income tax, it only collects income tax for limited liability companies. So, which means that as we speak as of today, unless the law changes tomorrow, right, there is nobody, right, nobody that or has the provision to charge business name taxes. It's as simple as that, right? Which means that even if FRS, I've represented numerous, I've been doing this thing for over 7 years, and I've never seen where they told a business name holder to come and defend his income or come and explain how much he's making in his business. If the FRS writes you, they write you for two reasons as a business name owner. They write you for value added tax and withholding tax. If the what's it called? If LRS writes you, they write you for direct assessment for your personal income tax. So they will expect that as a business owner, you have numerous business. As a business owner or as an individual, you could have an investment, you could have a paid employment. Me, I have a full-time paid employment. I do this consulting as well, right? I could also have investment elsewhere. All of these income are what they want to assess. They are not focused on, because the way you ask the question is not assuming that okay, it's like you are even saying business owners only even have one business, right? You have numerous amounts of business. That's why it's called an assessment. So that by the time they assess you and look at all your sources of income, right? Meaning how much are you paying yourself or how much are you getting from wherever you're getting your income from? That is what they tax. They are not going to say, bring business A, come and defend the income of business A, bring business B, come and defend business of business A. It does not, it's not done that way. When they designed business names, it was designed for small people who needed a brand name to operate without all of the compliance issues, right? And obviously, there are limitations. So if you ask me, the reason why you should be opening a limited liability company is not because you want to avoid tax. It's because you need the protection that business limited liability offer. And number one on the list is your indemnity, the ability to separate yourself from the business, right? That is just one of the top advantages. Then you talk about structure, getting loans, all of those things, getting grants. You can do all of that with the business name. The law does not really, should I say, people don't really rate with a company. Sorry, you can do all of that with a company. People don't really rate business when it comes to things like that because the liability, right, still falls on you. So, beside the risk aspect, right, there's really nothing. Even in practice, you can use what's it called, a business name account to collect any amount of transactions. I don't know about billions. I don't know anybody who has business name and does billions, right? Most of people are into billions. But I know people who do business name are into the hundreds of millions, right? And nobody has ever flagged them that yeah, once you don't cross 100 million, stop using business name. No, that is a CAC rule. CAC and FRS are basically two different bodies. So the understanding should first of all come from who is taxing me? What taxes are they even taxing me for? Right? Who can, even if business, it does not say that business name is to pay tax, right? Who will tax the tax? Which government body is taxing the tax? That even would be another good question. So again, I stand by it that next year all of us go see now whether they go tell business name to pay tax. And I guess maybe I'll be vindicated by them because at this point now, the English don't plenty.
Thank
So
you.
that's
Thank
basically
you.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you get the context where I'm coming from.
No, definitely. I already understand. It's just that it's becoming confusing. I mean, a lot of people are talking, and
So
it's really
the thing is,
becoming.
none of them have ever filed tax in their whole life. They just read the theory. Yeah, so if you read it, it's confusing. Business name and individual, that's the same thing. So it simply means that whatever is applying to the individual is applying to this. But in practice, That's really not how it works if you understand the tax, right? And from experience, I know that that's not how it works. You get. So I even went to a conference where I was a speaker, and somebody even said the same thing. But I don't want to not be obstructing my fellow panelists with all of those things, right? I'll give you a professional courtesy. People should believe what they want to believe. So is it true now? Say, don't be like I'll not start argument in front of stage. Me that was very tired, I wanted to go home. I don't
It's
have any
really
energy to
crazy.
go.
Yeah.
So
Thank you very much. Please,
that's
I have
just
a
it.
question, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hello, sir.
I can hear
Okay,
you.
thank
Go
you, sir.
ahead.
Okay, just to say something about the last okay, just to say something about the last caller. I think when you listen to many people, you start having problems. For me, I listen to only two people. That's Mina and FRS chairman, and I don't think I have this confusion. My only question is this: for somebody who runs a hotel, and then we do some expenses like we buy diesel, we buy food stuff we used to cook at the kitchen. We buy drinks, Coca-Cola, beer and other drinks, wine. We pay salary and other things. Please, of all these expenses, are there deductible expenses before we pay VAT, not company income tax, before we pay VAT?
No, they are all for your kind of business. As long as you've crossed the revenue threshold, whatever sales you make, you add VAT to it. Even the you say you have a hotel now, the hotel, the drinks,
Yes, sir.
everything is vatable. So let's say you are
Okay.
giving a room out, you're supposed to add VAT to it. If you are selling the drinks, you're supposed to add VAT to it.
Okay.
So that's hospitality
Okay.
business.
We don't have any deductible expenses in the business
When you talk about
for
deductible,
VAT.
that you're talking deductible is for where is no VAT does not have deductible. It's either you are
That's
exempt or you are paying it.
okay.
There's no deductible when it comes to VAT. You only have deductible when you're talking about income because you have revenue. Then you're removing the expenses for making that revenue, right? VAT is considered as a transactional tax, more like a third party tax. So they don't see it as your money. They see it as the government money that you are helping them collect. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, sir.
Hello? So the other
I
one is
understand.
income
I
tax
understand.
because it is so that's basically they don't see it as your money. You are just supposed to collect it from them and remit it to them. You're just supposed to collect it from their customers and remit it to them because you are offering your customers value, and the government has given you an enabling environment to do that. So basically, that's you reach to laugh. Me say what talk, I not believe.
Because we know
Well,
that in the actual sense, the business owners are the ones paying the VAT, not the customers. For example, if you sell a room, let's say 15,000 or 10,000 naira, or 10,000 naira, and then you add a VAT to it, 7.5%, which
That's
makes it
10,750.
uh,
750, yes.
exactly. So exactly, and then your customer comes and he wants a discount. You won't even sell it up to the original price, which is 10,000, because of the discount. Because if you don't offer discount, you won't sell. You end up paying 8,000 or 7,000, and then you still have to take money from there and pay VAT. So, in the practical sense, we are the ones paying the VAT, not even the customer. Theoretically, they will tell you are not the one paying the VAT. It's the customers that pay the VAT. But it's not true. And most businesses are like this, because if you don't give discount in whatever you sell, you end up going out of business. So I don't
Okay,
know how
but
the government will look into this.
but technically, right? If you're offering discount, the final price that you're selling it. That is what you add the VAT on, not the initial price. So if you offer a discount and you say, okay, you're giving person 2,000 discount and it's paying 8,000, that 8,000 is what attracts VAT to, not the initial 10,000. Hope you know that.
I understand. Yes, sir.
now, what he's trying to say is, there's competition out there. you don't want to, if for example the room is 8,000 naira and what the competitors are also giving out is 8,000 naira, and you add 7.5 on that 8,000 naira, whether the 8,000 naira is discounted or not, you're adding, from what you're saying, you add 7.5 on what the customer is about to pay. It overshoots the the money, and that could also cause them to lose business. And this is a problem for so many smaller businesses, and that is why they find it so difficult to pay VAT. VAT is an issue because of this. Nobody wants to either write 7.5% on their invoice because they know that customers might not come again, except for the big ones, big businesses, big brands that we know that, you can't avoid it. But there are still smaller businesses that have not grown. They're not bigger brands. So they find it difficult. And even if they decide to include it, do their prices VAT inclusive, it still overshoots. You understand? And that's why this has been a problem. So I think his question is, what can the government do?
You say in the last, you say in the last, what can the government do?
Let them bring that down to
Let's
2.5.
laugh together. Go. So, no, so personally, I agree that 7.5 is a lot, right? For me, because the thing there was, I think it was 5% before, and it was Buhari that moved it to 7.5 before. I think that was 2020 that he moved it to 7.5, and nobody said anything, especially maybe because people were not really compliant, right? But now they want force compliance upon on our troops. And these tax laws is not really new. They are basically, it is just the enforcement that is new on Nigerians. That's just the way I see it, right? And right now, I think it's already too late because all of these things they've become law, right? They've become law, and nobody said anything when they needed. So the only thing I can actually say to that, because I feel like there's going to be a cultural shift next year, because a lot of businesses would actually just, even your competition, right, that you are saying would not be charging VAT, we likely also have to charge VAT because it also has tax liabilities to pay. So I think it might initially lead to a lot of inflation of goods and services all around board, right? And as always, Nigerians will always see way to manage and survive. That's the only way I see it, because people will be obligated to do that. But just in case people are not, like I've always said, the truth is, even the tax, right? The way I see it, or the way it happens in practice, people really don't. If you think it's going to be a challenge and you're going to lose customers, right? You can either do the hidden way where you calculate your VAT already and add it to your prices, or even if you truly cannot basically afford it, you can file within a budget, right? So maybe you can be filing like 100,000 or so, depending on the budget that you have. Then at the end of the year, right, if they come, both of you can basically, you can explain to them the challenges of your business. You don't have money, you just find a way, and maybe they will raise a more, let's say for instance, now at the end of the year, you're owing like 5 million, 10 million, whatever it is. They are actually quite reasonable, right? If you negotiate properly, they can raise maybe a small something, a much more lesser for you. Obviously, you will give them something from inside as well, and you settle your case. They give you an assessment for that period, and you're covered. So that's another way to actually go around it in practice, right? Especially, like they say, they say when the debt when they don't owe it, they have to collect. So they would rather just collect something than not collecting anything at all. So that's basically it, especially if it's fast, because nobody has the capacity to be paying 2 years due VAT and 3 years due VAT or 1 year due VAT, right? You don't want to run the business now, and they also understand all of those things. So especially if the VAT is passed or long overdue, because the government does not have the capacity to come and be checking on everybody every month. Because VAT is monthly, right? So most times, even when they check on an annual basis for most of the taxes, because they also want to cover VAT, they want to cover CIT, all of those things at once, right? Because you don't want to spend money to be chasing somebody for compliance, and let's say you're just chasing people for one month VAT compliance. It's not worth their time. So most times they allow you misbehave for a period of time, then they come so that at least they get something from you. That's how it works. So that's just the only thing you probably can do. Maybe you underpay, and when they come, you look for a way to just discuss with them and negotiate a good deal and you balance up. That's the only recommendation I can give. But that you will not pay, that's really no longer is no longer on the table. Sadly enough. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So I just want to show how to file zero, especially for value-added tax. So if you log in, I think they give you that this person the old plenty taxes, but they just use that to. It's just a very straightforward thing, right? Let me even go back to the logout. So if they give you your FRS login, right, somewhere here, you just put in your details, right? You come to the taxes due. So these are basically where all your taxes. So this person now, like I was saying before, this person is a business name account. As you can see, there's no company tax here. This person has not filed since 2024, right? Ideally, if it's a company now, somewhere around here between 2024 and 2025, you see company income tax filing will drop, right? But let's say, and you can never file the latest one until you file the old ones, right? So let's proceed. So you see your sales schedule. And the good thing with the filing is all that you need basically are inside. So if you see here now, for instance, if we're actually filing numbers, right? We're actually filing that. If you see here, you see download sample templates. You can quickly download here, right? So let me open what I downloaded now. Templates. Let's see. Where is my downloads? Okay. So this is what you will see there. And if you can see, they will put descriptions, right? If you look at this red thing up here, let me enlarge my this thing. You can see for VAT status column 0, right? So okay, for VAT status column, VATable items you put 0, 0 rated items you put 1, VAT exempt you put 2. But I will not tell you to bother with all of this. You just put only things that are basically VATable and file your thing and go, right? So if you have the name of the company, especially if maybe you're a service business, you have the name of the company, you can put the name of the company, the tin of that company, the item that you sold for the person, and the price. Automatically, the system calculates the VAT for you, right? But if you don't have the company, especially maybe you're selling to multiple people like a normal store, you can just put work in here. You don't need to put tin number because you're not attaching it to anybody, right? You can put maybe the category of whatever you sell. So let's say, for instance, now you are a supermarket, you can just put goods or put whatever, right? What is important to them is share the money. Is when you know the customer and you want to assign that VAT so that they can claim include VAT. That is when you ask for their what's it called, their tax ID, and it's actually very common in the consulting business, right? Because obviously you are sending them a proper invoice and they will have their tax ID inside. And of course, so that they will charge the VATable goods code, like we've read here, is 0. So on this last place, you put 0, right? And you're good to go. But so once you do this, you upload it back into the system, right? But we are not doing that. What we just want to do is file 0. And for the file 0, all we just have to do is we don't upload anything. We just click on the Naira and we continue, right? Proceed. You just keep on proceeding.
Hello, Mena.
Then,
Sorry.
yeah, I
Sorry.
can hear you.
Before you submit, I want to ask on
Okay.
the inputs, can you show us for someone who is VATable and it's actually paying on the input
Okay.
VAT? Yes. How does it work?
On the input bars, I'm coming. Let me. Again, for me, like I said, no matter what you file, they will still come for reconciliation, right? But
Definitely.
uh, this is basically, I don't know why it's not available. So you see here, right? This place, just like you have, what's it called? Uh, was file that you upload on this one, right? There used to be, I don't know what's wrong with these accounts now. Even if you see here now, it's showing us
It's not
video
there.
on
It's
how to.
not there. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
yeah.
asking. It's not there.
It used to be there, so I don't know what the problem is. Let me quickly look at what these people are putting here. Let me check this video. But personally, right? Again, like I said, the what's it called? With regards to VAT, right? Whatever it is that you file, you should do your reconciliation. So even if you are claiming input VAT, just keep whatever input you are claiming, right? What I would recommend for you is file when you do your calculations or your schedule, just file what you owe. As if you are doing the proper way, just file what you owe, right? And keep receipts for your input VAT that you have, right? Because
Mm,
even your what's it called? Even CIT is the same thing. You cannot even
mm,
start allowing expenses. They've
mm,
already put their predefined expenses there. So most times, if you shunk up your expenses to just fit and get the calculation that you've done. So when it
mm,
comes to NRS filing or Nigeria filing, just file what you owe, right, from
mm,
your own personal computation. When they
mm.
come, always do your reconciliation. That is how it works in practice. So most of all of these things is just protocol and all of that, right? So if I had,
Okay.
let's say, if I'm owing 1 million and I have input VAT of 500,000, I'm not going to file 1 million and be hoping to collect 500,000. They will never minus it on the listing, right? It is 1 million that is still there that you go and pay. So what I would recommend is for you to actually just file the 500,000. If they come, you reconcile with them that no, I have input VAT of 500,000 before. That's why I filed 500,000. That is your best way. If you want to go and be doing input VAT and be thinking somebody will give you your input money back and all of those things, it does not really work like that. This is Nigeria. Nobody get money to give you. So that's basically what I can say. So just file what you owe from your own calculation, and if they come, you do your reconciliation. So just keep like a tax folder if you can. That's what I would recommend. I know before now, I don't know why they removed it. Maybe it was causing a lot of this thing. There used to be a place where you upload, and most times I don't even use it. So that's why I didn't know that they even removed it, where you can upload your input claims, right? But they've removed it. I've not even noticed because I don't even use it. I just file what I owe, and when they come, I do my reconciliation because that is everybody in the country is moving mad. Okay, so basically that's it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Then you accept and
Yeah, thank
you
you very
proceed.
much, sir.
I think for the moment they are not charging penalty and now maybe because a lot of people are trying to file off their backlog, they remove penalties for now. If not, this one would have accumulated a lot of penalties. But once you do that, you file zero. So you just click here and it's done. So I also wanted to show you withholding tax. If we come to here, so for withholding tax, this is where you get it because withholding tax is not really every month. It depends on transaction. You come to group taxes, you see withholding tax here, right? You click on withholding tax. You click on Naira, then you click on others, right? You again, they have a sample template that you can use and fill it. So if you look at your sample template, let's see, what do I have here? Where is it? Okay, sample template withholding tax. Please, most times it will come like this, right? Because if you put extra spaces, it might not go, it might not accept your file. So yes, if you have more than one business you are filing for, obviously you will increase this thing and add more lines, right? And fill in all the details. It's very similar to the value added tax. You put the TIN number, put the date of the transaction, put the service that was rendered or whatever it is transaction. Then you put the rate. Obviously, no withholding tax is 7.5. So you put like it is what's it called? 0. If it's 5% now, what you put is 0.05, right? Put 0.05. That one that was there is not even 7.5. That's basically looking like what's it called? 75%. So you put obviously withholding tax, you put the tax amount, right? Transaction amount, put the tax amount, and this one now, this place now you can leave it 0. Basically important. So the templates are basically there. You can always download it out and use it. So that's how you file those what's it called? The withholding tax and the value-added tax. For company income tax, it's not something I would recommend a business owner to file, right? Obviously, you need an audited financial statement for people that have limited liability companies. So I don't really see the need of teaching anybody how to file company income tax, because whoever is preparing your accounts will file it for you. So that's basically the monthly ones that you can do yourself and stay compliant.
Yeah.
I
Then
think somebody wanted to speak.
I have
Okay.
another
I have a
question.
question. I have a question.
Okay,
Okay.
so 2 questions. One is withholding taxes. Now, most business owners here, they sort of don't understand how this withholding tax is run, and that is because most of the times they buy things from the markets. Let's use a baker for example, who buys from vendors from the markets, her flour and every other thing. Those vendors are not really tax compliant. They are not even registered with FRS to even start asking for invoice and putting their 7.5 and all of that, and you withholding. So what do you suggest for businesses like that to do? Because when they write a letter, when FRS writes to them, they write for both VAT and withholding taxes that they have not paid. So, but they don't have any clue of how to start deducting this, because they are not really structured like that, even though their name has limited. I don't know if you get. So what do you suggest in those cases? And then my second question is a waste management company who partners with Loma, like with the permission of Loma for them to pick up waste from Lagos, are they tax exempt? Thank you.
I don't understand. Is what?
The second
A
question,
waste
right?
management company.
A waste management company who partners with Loma, like they pick up waste. Loma truck now that picks up
Yes.
waste goes street by street.
Yes.
So they have a
Partnership with.
permission from
So
Loma.
it's
Yeah,
like you are
to
charging
pick up
government
waste.
withholding tax.
Yes, I'm just asking, are they even VAT exempt? Are they taxable? Are they supposed to be
So
taxable?
so I know with VAT, technically most should I say, because if we're assuming that they are government entities, most government entities you cannot really charge them what's it called, transactional taxes like this, right?
Yes.
And I think that's a bit of a gray area. But now with withholding tax again, another thing that you need to consider. So like this my table now, as you can see, exclude contracts and sale of goods for ordinary course of business. Okay, normal service is not ordinary course of your business, right? It sounds like it's service and hold on, let me see. Mm. The only gray area I actually see there is the fact that it's a government this thing, and they are picking up your waste, Abby.
Yes, and you can't ask the tenants or the house owners to pay 7.5 on because when Loma, for those that Loma gives bill, Loma don't add 7.5 to their rate. So you now that is partnering with Loma, you can't start charging 7.5 on your own bill. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So that's
So
what I'm
you
asking.
as
Are
a
they even
company that you are, so it's more like Lawman gave you a license to do waste
something
disposal,
like that to practice?
and you
Yes,
have
to
cost
pick
your
up
own
waste on their
customers.
behalf. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So
So
they gave you a section in Lagos where you'll be picking up waste, like an area, a community,
so first of
something.
all, whenever we're talking about withholding tax now, first we're talking about value added tax,
Yes, if they
right?
are taxable, like if they are vatable, they are I mean if they are tax exempt. I don't know the English to speak, but
So
they
I'm
even supposed
trying
to pay
to
taxes at all.
uh, I'm trying to look at that. I'm trying to understand where waste disposal actually comes in, right? Because Nigerian products. This law of a thing, sometimes you might just forget anything. Uh, I'm just trying to look at the different categories if waste will fall into any of those categories. But honestly, for waste disposal, it's sounding like a community service, right? Nobody might. It does not look like something that they should be charging VAT on. If you ask me,
Exactly.
nobody's going to charge VAT or withholding tax to
And
waste
nobody will
disposal.
agree to pay.
Exactly. So are you trying to deter people from disposing their waste? They are encouraging people to keep Nigeria clean. So if even if they, I think maybe it's not under consideration, right? But if they were to consider it, it would definitely be a tax exempt, both withholding and this thing, because it just makes sense that that is more like a public good, right? That's why you have things
Exactly.
like educational material and the rest. So
Mm-hmm.
if I were a tax man, nobody's going to charge the waste disposal company to come be charging VAT. It just does not make any sense. Although it's not listed, because I have a comprehensive list of all the services here. That's what I was trying to look at, right? But on top of my head, it should not, it should not be charged there. If you have basic food and basic supplies, all of those is exempted. That should be exempted as well. It's as easy
Yeah.
as that. The law does not specifically state it, but that should be exempted as well.
And the problem is that FRS doesn't know that. I mean, they keep writing letters
Is
and
it okay for the wages? But that's what I say.
yeah,
So the law does not explicitly state that this thing, right? But it really does not make sense that a waste disposal this thing should be. Even the person that is writing, you will pay VAT on waste disposal.
I don't know.
So the same thing that's just, but just as I said that, because I looked at it, now, I'm not seeing anything like waste disposal. It's human beings that wrote this thing, and they probably nobody's considering. It's not a very popular. How would I put it now?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I
Business.
don't think it was considered in the this thing. Obviously, there are these things, and it might not look like, but like I said, it's not, it was not, nobody listed the waste kind of, there's no category here that you cannot attach to waste business and all of those. So that is where the una fight will really come from. If it should be, if it should be considered for exemption or not. I'm looking really hard. I can't really see where to put it.
Can I ask my own question?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me give you just a background. We operate as a business name before. So in April, we registered it as a limited, and then we formally opened the account in June. Okay, and I have logged since that June. Every month I log into that FIRC portal. I don't see do tax due. I don't see anything there. And if I try to see if I can upload or go to VAT or do anything, nothing, no, as I can go through everything, but there's nowhere to do anything at all. I've watched their videos, I've watched everything they say in their videos. When you go in to do it, there is no access. There is nothing you can click. There is no tax due. Every month I log in, nothing. So what do I do? Am I
You go
starting?
back to what they've done is they've not activated your account.
Oh, okay. So I need to reach
They've not
them
activated.
back.
You need to go back, yes. You've not activated your account. So yeah, that's basically they open it for you, right? You have your tax ID and all that, but the account itself, so they're supposed to activate it so as just like the one I just showed you now, they drop automatically at the beginning of every month, right? So
Yes.
because you've not activated your own, it does not drop.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah. Okay, please. This where the question where the website or what I don't know what we're opening what to answer the last question, the one before this one that I just asked. Where can one
Mm.
look up such details so that
So I
one will know
prepared
what is
the document before I had shared it earlier. I can share it again in the group. It's just my own
okay.
personal document.
Okay, please. We'd like to get it. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Mena, you've not answered my question. No, the first one
The
I
wait,
asked. No, withholding tax.
okay, what happened to
Businesses
withholding
who
that?
businesses who do not charge or who do not pay for withholding tax, even though they are limited liabilities, but they are just not structured in a way as to deduct withholding tax. What do they do? Are they with the new tax laws now? So are you saying that I should be deducting withholding tax from every vendor I want to pay, even if it is a roadside vendor or as a baker? I want to go and buy
No,
flour.
no, 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 no,
Mm,
no, no. I think
okay.
I answered it, but you missed my point. So things
Oh,
that you're
sorry.
buying during the
Sorry.
ordinary course of business, right? Most times, right? If you look at, let me open that document again. People look at it, they try to list what you charge withholding tax on. Where is that thing? Right? They try to list what you should charge withholding tax on. What is chargeable to withholding tax? Right? So this is really the table that they provided. So so you can see construction, supply, repairs, installation, maintenance, right? For supply now, they now said exclude contracts for sales of goods in general cost of doing business. So if, for instance, now you are a bakery and you are going to buy flour and all of those things, that's your general cost of doing business. You should not be charging the person with 20 tax. They will never say to you. It makes no sense. That's basically your cost of goods sold, right? You cannot be charging that person with 20 tax. You should be charging person withholding tax for uh, contracts or supplies that are not really attributed to your day-to-day this thing. So let's say you call somebody now to supply you shares, right, furniture and equipment for your office. That is the kind of transaction you charge withholding tax on. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah.
So those are the kind of transactions you charge withholding tax on. Let's say you employ me now to do your audited financials. Those are the kind of transactions you charge withholding tax on, not the transaction of you buying your normal day-to-day this thing. Even for instance, now, if it is you that is going to yourself to go and buy the share, you are not getting a third party and all of that. That you cannot be. For instance, you go to Ebanon to buy an asset, you cannot be charging Ebanon withholding tax now. They are not your suppliers. You just went there to go and buy it.
Mm,
You get the point. So
mm.
that is basically it.
What you're saying is that if I want to pay my landlord right now, I can decide to remove 10% from it. That man will evict me.
If you are a company, you should be removing 10%. As an individual, you don't have the right to deduct withholding tax. But if you're a company, you should be. So if you are a company and you whether you rented from a company or an individual, you should be removing withholding tax, right? That is what the law mandates. So even if you don't remove it, the government will ask you for that withholding tax. You're laughing. So as long as you're a company, right, the government will ask you for their withholding tax.
Okay, man. I see interest on bonds and government security. So if I'm getting income from these treasury bills and federal government bonds, are they not deducting it before paying me? Am I supposed to now, whatever income or interest I get from them, I will pay my withholding tax? I don't understand. How does it work? Especially with these treasury bills and federal government bonds.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, I got distracted. Ask the question again.
No, I said the interest on this withholding tax, there are interest on bonds and government securities.
Okay.
Examples like treasury bills, federal government bonds. So I'm saying that whatever I'm getting from this, are you saying that are they not supposed to deduct the 5% before paying me? I don't understand. How does withholding tax works for these federal government bonds?
And so they are supposed to deduct their this before they are paying you now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I wanted to be sure. I wanted to get that response because I can't. I'm out of what they paid me now. Pay withholding
They are
tax.
supposed to, like the news that was flying around yesterday said financial institutions, everybody should deduct their withholding tax before paying interest out
Yeah.
to their customers.
Yeah.
That's basically it. So you're supposed
Okay.
to deduct the withholding tax.
Mm. Thank you. Well done.
Mm.
I mean,
Hi.
okay, so I saw payee when you were doing the demo. I saw payee as one of the options there. Is this where we fire?
No. So the payee there is basically for, especially for non-residents, right? That don't have. Nobody files payee with FRS. I've never filed payee with FRS. File payee with your state,
Okay.
right? But by theory, it is for non-residents, that people that don't have let's say state of residence. You get, then you can file with federal government. But again, if you file with federal government, the state will come to say where they are paying for that person. That's especially the state of the state residence of the company. I will put that now where the company is. It is you that is supposed to be collecting pay, so it's you that will ask. So I would not recommend you file pay with FRS. File pay with your state.
All right. All right. Thanks. So for for someone like me now, I think I registered in Lagos, but now I'm now resident in Abuja. I will still be paying
Re-
taxes in Lagos, right?
You registered what your
Did you hear
business
what I said?
since in Lagos. I heard what you said. You registered it in Lagos, right?
Yes.
So which tax are you
Yes.
saying you will be paying in
Yeah.
Lagos? Is it your personal tax or
Um,
your company tax?
my personal tax.
Personal tax is where you are residing. If you are not in Lagos, why you do have no business with
So it
Lagos.
should be Abuja.
You start paying
Okay.
for going for you start paying in Abuja. I think that's one of the reasons why they want to unify the whole, especially the state tax system with one tax ID, so that wherever you pay, wherever you move to within Nigeria, your tax payments you've already paid. Even right now, some people pay double personal income tax. So for instance, now you're in Delta, right, and you've paid your tax there. If you come to Lagos, because there's no data sharing, and probably you want to get a land or you want to get something like that requires your personal income tax certificate. They will not, the one in Delta will not fly. I don't know if you understand. They will also want to assess you in Lagos. That is what is obtainable at the moment. So you see people paying double taxation.
Oh,
So those are the things
okay.
they are actually
Okay.
trying
All right.
to reduce.
So, Mena, what of those who are abroad who own businesses here in Nigeria and they own businesses here, but they are not here? Are they
They
supposed to
all
pay
is
personally? Mm,
no. Non-residents don't pay personal income tax. Even this interest that you see is only, as you can see, their withholding tax become their final tax.
mm. Okay. So they only just pay their VAT on their businesses and their withholding taxes on the businesses they run. Not they have no business
Yes,
with personal
yes.
income tax. Okay.
No. So if they are collecting dividends, right, the company also will charge them. So the businesses now, whatever money they are paying to them, it will be defined as something. It's either a dividend, right? If it's dividends, it will attract a 10% tax. because the company has to represent it in their own books where the money went. So, and if the money is going to the director, they have to pay dividends on it. So the dividends now become their final tax as well.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I've sent you my email as in and my number, I think so. You
Today,
remember Abu Usman? No, not today.
please, the
About
messages
what?
are a lot. If you can just pop it up, I would appreciate.
Okay, no
Thank you.
problem.
Like it's like everybody don't understand tax finish now. Say, "Mo, will end the class, go sleep."
Mena, the problem is still there. Oh. The problem
Which
never
No,
finished.
problem?
I have my own question.
Today is the last
No,
class. Oh. I said
no matter
you want
how
to
we
sign up for my
understand
other
tax,
class so we can continue the discussion.
no matter how we understand it, it does not stop the fact that there's still
No, so
problem.
the thing is that is what I actually taught, and that's what actually inspired me to start the other class where I will be available next year for when the tax wahala actually starts, right? And I will advise people accordingly. And obviously, for that kind of 1 year class, I cannot be charging the same amount. And that's what actually inspired that one. So because I understand that obviously for something that you don't do all the time, you also still need help and guidance, right? Come next year, and we can always be able to provide that. So if you are not in the other community and 28,000 is not so much, although I even give people in this community 5,000 naira discount, right? At least to say thank you for buying my first one. So I think it's something you might probably want to consider, especially for next year, so that if you have any challenges, in case they write you later, we can always talk through it and come up with a strategy.
Okay,
Yeah.
please, Samina, ask some questions.
Okay, hey,
Okay, so Mena, my first question is that so I monetize on YouTube. So basically, Google pays us, and how they pay us is that we sell ad space to them. So they show up, they show ads. Then at the end of the month, if you reach the threshold, they send the money. So I signed up with a company account. So in this my case, since we are more like selling services to people, so I don't know if I should
hello, hello,
Hello. Okay,
hello.
sorry. I had I have network issues. So, sir, Mr. Mena, for
Okay.
my own case, will I fall under the tax exemption or zero rated?
Sorry, I didn't get. You
Okay, I
do
said I'm on the
YouTube. Okay,
yes,
you monetize on
yes, I do
YouTube. Okay.
YouTube. Yes, so when I
Mm-hmm.
set up my payout with AdSense, so I set up in a company so that they pay to my company profile, to my company account
Okay.
rather. So in my own case, since I'm serving, because we are more like selling ad space to Google, then they pay us. So in my own
Mm-hmm.
case, am I tax and VAT exempted?
VAT exempted. You are selling art space, are we? You should be VAT
Yes, to
exempted now.
Google.
You should be VAT exempted because, especially if your value is not basically within Nigerian borders, so that's more like an export, right? So you should be
Yeah.
VAT exempted. Exports are VAT exempted. As you can see, zero rated
Okay.
exports, exported
Then I
goods,
want to ask,
services, intangible property, see, IP, digital rights, those kind of things. So they are zero rated, basically.
okay, so what if the first one we did they made a mistake because since
They make a mistake how?
like for example, instead of them to use zero rated, they went for VAT exempted because the business has not gotten to 25 million threshold.
as at the time I did the last one.
So who made a mistake?
You know that. So my experience is that most times when I go there, like the first day I went to FRS, the first thing I heard was that any money that enters my account, I should charge VAT, without then
That is
hearing
what they
if
will
I
tell you
sell
now.
the.
Yeah, they're not the tax person. That's what they will tell you now. They want to collect your money.
So it's
So
the kind of experience we go there and meet anyhow information.
you are a customer now. So if your customer comes, will you answer the customer not to give you money? But I want to
We that
understand
some
the
of us.
challenge. I'm not sure I've gotten your challenge.
Okay, no, like I'm just asking because when I did the last filing, they were like, if not of, they later discovered that okay, the business has not gotten up to 25M. So when I did the filing, because even okay, the second one now was still an international payment because I used this buy me a coffee. So some of our payment solution doesn't permit you to charge people in US and UK. So as at the time I signed up for buy me a coffee, they were accepting Nigerians. So I can charge in dollars, but before they send the money, they have this Stripe Express. It's more like a collaboration with Stripe that doesn't accept Nigeria. But through the buy me a coffee, you'll be able to create an account. But they pay the money through Citibank, but it's sent in Naira. So this case now, for example, is it still VAT exempted?
Wait, I'm looking at your listeners there. You said you do digital ads, and it's like
Yes,
it's vatable.
advertising.
I'm
Yes,
seeing digital ads here. Are you seeing
but
it?
all this, yes, but for these questions I'm asking are actually for international. Either I'm selling to
And so that's
international
where the gray area
clients.
is international now. That's where the gray area is, right? Because digital ads could be Nigerian digital ads, right? It's like I said, it's because of the international this thing. And I know that especially since the value is not enjoyed within Nigeria. So generally exported goods and services, right? And not that is where you fall into. So if they ask you is exported services, right, that you don't render to Nigerian companies. So that is basically like my first point of call. Okay, you offer exported services, right? And that is basically what you do. So if you offer exported services, it's zero rated. You cannot be charging YouTube 7.5%.
VAT.
They will not
Yes.
even answer you, sir. So those people don't obey our tax laws. Are not because at the end, you only charge tax to people within your tax this that respond to your tax. The tax law is not to punish you now for doing business. I don't know if you
It
get.
was almost
So
looking
as
like
long
you
as
are
it's
yes.
exported this thing, you are not is a fellow Nigerian that is supposed to be paying you value added tax, not somebody abroad. They don't care about your tax
Okay.
law.
Then I wanted to get more clarity in a deep way. Take for example, this buy me a coffee now, because I actually do not know if there comes a time where we are going to submit our record to justify the VAT returns we are filing. So in my own case, sometimes let's say a client from Saudi Arabia might pay $40.
There's nothing to justify now. All you just basically have to prove is you don't serve the Nigerian audience. It's that simple.
Okay, and that's all. It doesn't no
That's
need
all.
for
There's
long
nothing.
talk.
If you don't serve the Nigerian audience, you're not vatable. There's nothing to prove. It's not your own case. Now, it's not a case of whether you've reached the threshold or not. It's a case of it's just like a pharmacy, right? You're not
Yes.
supposed to be charging VAT, or you're not supposed to. So it's not a case of turnover. It's a case of you're not liable for this tax. Simple.
But
Okay.
Mena, he
All right.
registered here in Nigeria. His business is registered here.
I'm not.
Abi,
I'm not
Mr.
disputing
Gospel.
where the business is registered. The pharmacy also is registered in Nigeria, but you're not supposed to be
Yeah.
charging VAT. That's what the law says. If it's so, you cannot be telling somebody abroad to pay you value added tax now for what? They are not
Yes.
Nigerians.
Yes.
What is the
They
value
usually get
Nigeria is giving
angry.
them? They,
Yes.
they
So
don't.
they
You
get
don't
angry.
charge. Nobody charges an exported service, right? They also know that that's why they make provision for it. You cannot be charging an exported service VAT. It's an exported
Okay.
service, yeah. Exported goods, services, intangible properties, IP address, digital rights, whatever it is, anything that is exported, right? Because it's another country, they have their own tax that they are paying.
Yeah.
So you cannot be charging them value added tax. Value added tax is a tax
Okay.
within your own country for the government to be giving you enabling environment to do business. So generally, any exported goods or services is not charged back. Even as a business, right? Let's say you are selling shoes and you have customers in the abroad, right? Those the customers in the abroad you sell those shoes to, they should not be paying VAT. It's only your customers in Nigeria that should be paying you VAT. It's as simple as that. So you cannot classify your goods to the ones that the vatable ones and non-vatable ones simply because of the location of the person buying it.
Yes. Okay. Then,
So
sir,
that's how
then I
it's
have
done.
one. Yes, I have one last question. So, sir,
Okay.
in this my own business also, some clients now they prefer to send money in crypto because of the reduction in costs and transaction
Yeah.
fee. So let's say, for example, now how do I manage this whole because the easiest way for me to transfer that money is to receive it into, let's say, maybe Bybit, then I go to an exchange and then they send me that money. Because I've also heard stories of we should not pay money into our bank account. So like what do you advise in this scenario where we have to receive the money, let's say from crypto? Then like how do I go about it? It's still under exported services, but this one is coming from crypto.
So how do you go about it in regards to what?
Okay, first, basically, because even at the end of the accounting year, where we are going to do, okay, my question is that directly, because the easiest way is that, let's say if they send me $1,000 to manage an ad campaign for them, maybe I charge them 10% of that $1,000, so 100. So is it okay for me to, let's say I convert that $1,000 to Naira from my Bybit account? Then I transfer the whole money into my business account in my name. Does that make sense?
And there's no crime against putting your money in. You receive the money in dollars. All of these things are what you can even actually trace, right? You transferring the money to your account is like you share what you said when you went to the tax office. They were telling you that all the inflow there is your income and all of that. They will be happy now that you're even putting more money in your account, meaning there is more opportunity to tax you if you are a taxable person. So I don't see them having an issue with whether the money comes from your personal account or this. It's more like they paid. While I would not advise that you be receiving money into your personal account, but if that's the only case for you to receive the money and you put it back in this, it happens. You're not the first director to receive a company money into your account, but you remitted it, and your records show that okay, you made this transaction and this is the revenue. You are increasing revenue. No taxman will be against you increasing your revenue number. What they are
Okay, so
against is you reducing your your should I say increasing your expenses, right?
okay,
So as long as the
okay, sir.
revenue they go up,
Okay,
they will not frown on it.
okay, so sir, like for example, if I converted whatever money I converted in crypto and it's like 100,000, then I send the 100,000 inside of the business account. It solves the whole problem.
It's not there's no issue there. I don't see any issue.
So even
I
my
don't
personal,
I
I'm
can't
not
see
going
any
to
issue
pay
on my end.
personal income tax.
Personal income tax is not on inflow and outflow now. I've been saying it since. It's on income. So if you declare that money as an income, right, it's not your money. It's more like even if they ask you, let's imagine now that okay, they audited the account, the money came in and you sent it back to the company. Is you will tell them that this money, sure you see, now this I receive, I send another company, but not send it back to the company. Nobody's going to tax you
Yeah.
on it now. Those are just very open and short discussions.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Mena, last question, please. Last question.
I like the way you're laughing. Don't worry, we still have time, so be asking.
Last question. So I hope it's the last. Okay. What he
Finish your
just
money.
asked, what gospel asked now made me to ask this question. And that's because of the abroad people. So if I open a business here in
Are you
Nigeria,
abroad?
I'm not abroad.
Like you are planning to go very soon. Come and carry me.
If I
My
open a
international
business,
passport is ready.
if I open a business, wait now. If I open a business here, Okay. I'm just asking hypothetically. And I have both Nigerian customers and abroad customers, regardless of, let's say the business is VAT-able, is not tax exempt. And I have, because you mentioned that all we just need to do is to prove that you did not cater for the money came from abroad. So now, but you know that your business account, you shared your business account with them, and then there are so many applications now that people abroad use to make payments into your Naira account. So if that money is coming to your Naira account and it's coming in as Naira into your business account, but you sold to the abroad people. Now, FRS will say, bring your bank statements as a proof, to say to be sure that what you're paying is correct. And they see all those monies, right? How do you, because sometimes it's very difficult
You
to
can't
prove.
prove it. If it's that one you're going to, you can't prove it.
Exactly. So what would that business owner do in this case
We
now?
charge VAT now, because for someone to be having a Nigerian account as any in Naira, it's either it just supposed to sell in dollars. So it's either you actually collect the money in dollars and receive it in the domiciliary account or whatever.
So what if
Or
you receive it in your business DOM account?
if you receive your BSDOM account and these accounts are traceable, you can prove that this is where the money is coming from, the settlement and all of that. Then it's fine. It's not basically a vatable income. That one is not a vatable income. If you can prove that it's not from a Nigerian source,
So it's safe to
it's not a
say
vatable
that
income.
we should add. It's safe to say that we should add the 7.5 for the abroad people to pay. JJ, for those who would
Who
convert.
can sending you Naira?
Yeah,
Exactly.
for those who would. Yeah. Okay.
If they don't want to pay in dollars, then they will pay VAT.
Okay, makes sense.
Let me play music for you guys.
Good evening, Mr. Mena.
Good evening.
Please, how can you help us, for those of us that we are not in Lagos? We are outside Lagos, because I've once had an experience with tax people in when I was in Ilorin. I wanted to pay tax, and they didn't even. They just looked at my income, my personal account, and my business name. Then I was a business name, and they just said I should pay one amount. They don't even understand it. They just said I should pay one amount. Then I went for assessments, and they they cut the money into two, and they asked me to pay it. And when I paid it, they now said I will not pay land use charge again. And that land use charge was the amount they deducted from what I was supposed to pay before. So I ended up paying the same thing. So how can you help us? Because those tax people in the state, they don't even understand the tax. That's just it. They don't understand.
See, I am a witness to this thing. Most of them don't understand. That's Nigeria for you. They just employ people based on connection. Most
Yes.
of, I can tell you for free. Just like what that man was saying. Most of them they don't read the tax law. They don't do anything. So if you don't know your onions, right? I've seen clients that are doing basic food, bakery, doing this, paying VAT. I've seen small businesses even paying VAT. Businesses that are making even less than 10 million naira, but because the tax man told them that they should be paying. So that's ignorance is not an excuse. Batman will collect money, not consigner, right? And they are not refunding you if you like to discover. Sadly, by what you've just mentioned now is more like a state kind of tax, right? It might be difficult because obviously I really don't have. How will I put it now? Uh, it's good that you have this knowledge, right? And I'm hoping that you can you can argue because you will need the communications. I won't say argue anyway. You can basically negotiate and explain these things. Sometimes you might have to teach them. I will tell you that for a fact, but in a polite way anyway. make them understand that you know your rights, you know what you are liable for, and all of those things. And I will never recommend in the future that you give them your bank statement, especially when it comes to state people, right? Don't give them your bank statement. Nobody gives. I've never given a state, even LIRSF. I don't they give you. What are they give you my client's bank statement for? You smoke winch. It's I know you cannot get it anywhere else. State does not have that kind of authority. So those are the things you basically just need to know for yourself. So even if they give you basically shot yourself in the foot by giving them your bank statement. That was the number one mistake that you made. Right? That was why they had the effort to be billing you anyhow. If I were you, I would not give them my bank statement. So you negotiate with your mouth and you tell them this is what you have or whatever it is. And basically, that's it. Right? But like you said, it's good to be negotiating from a place of knowledge and understanding, which I'm hoping that you already have from this. So going forward, I pray that you will not need me, right? Because I cannot be everywhere. That's why I have classes like this. At least I'll tell you what my personal experiences are and how it actually works in the real field. So, like again, I said the number one mistake I think you made was just basically giving them your bank statements. If it's FRS by there, those people they have authority. If you don't give them, they can always get it. They can even block your account. They have that authority. But state does not have that authority. And the state people that will asking you for things like premise, whatever, and all of those things. Even in Lagos, itself, okay, I think land use charge. I don't even know how they charge land use charge, but I know business premise is 10,000 naira. So basically, that's just what I can say regarding that. I don't know if that helped you.
Okay.
Hello?
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, please, Sir Mena, I want to add to what the other lady said, Madam T Hills. So, she said in a case whereby we can't prove it. So let's say my client sends me a payment receipt that they've sent 1,000 USDT. Will FIRS regard that as a proof that is an international inflow?
It's not even by international influence. First of all, your own proof now will start from like your CAC. I don't know if you understand.
No, sir.
But
Like,
yes,
how do you mean?
USDT can serve as your proof if that's the case, especially if it's in foreign currency. USDT is a foreign currency now. No, I'm just
Yes,
saying that like if your CS is already stating that you sell digital ads on this thing, maybe your foreign clients and all of those things, right? Or even when you
yeah.
prepare your financial statement, your auditor has already stated what you do and how you aim your income. They look at all those things, or at least the ones that know how to read look at it.
Wow.
Oh, okay, it go shock you. Say some of them don't know what they do.
Wow. That means
Tax
I'm supposed
man
to
lazy,
expect
oh.
that
Not
again.
be able they talk for years, oh. Most of them they are lazy, oh. You have to do the work for them. If not, they will not.
They
They will just
they
be calling money for you.
in one big FRS office, you'll be shocked that it's just only one person that knows what he's doing there.
Exactly. And what they do is whenever they have a case, they'll be pushing the work to that person because most of them don't know
Exactly.
what they are doing.
Abuja is
That's
worse.
what they do. They will be pushing all the work to that one person because they don't even know how some of them. They just and their uncle and their brother put them for there. They don't know what they're doing.
Mr.
That
Mena,
is just the
since you're
reality.
telling me now, I'll have to go back there and go and take one lady's number because they gave me a tip the last time I came. They said if anything happens, if they hear that I'm working with one of their people, that they become more calm. So I don't know. So
So
I think
it's
I'll
like
have
you
to.
telling me now that police tell you police is your friend, you will not believe them. Hey God, this guy, you're funny, oh. See, let me not say anything, but the best you can get is I don't know where you are. The best you can get is just get an auditor that you can basically work with and trust. Although even some of the auditors, right, I'll tell you for free, they will work with FRS people to set their clients up. I've had that similar case. I had a client that was telling me, man, your money too much. You go hire auditor. The next year, not even the next year, itself, the next year, the auditor sends them up with tax people. You don't come back. He was like the man price not dey finish. Today go say pay for this, tomorrow go say pay for this. Hidden charges. So you don't know that some of all these people report their clients to FRS. You don't even know what's going on. By the time you start filing tax, you understand all of these things. Tax consultants are hustling now. So some of them will give you cheap bill and you think they are cheap, they are this. They will always look for a way to collect. So sometimes when certain people charge, I say okay, just like there's this I don't know, I won't say it's a popular saying that cheap particle they run belle. Right? When you're always looking for this thing, sometimes it's good to just pay I put that pay whoever will probably give you value for your money. Because if you do all of this, the price is not going to finish. You can pay somebody now and say, okay, I want to charge you 100,000 for financial statement. But then they say, you have to pay for the audit opinion. But then they will tell you have to pay for the filing. But because they've already started the job, you don't want to collect and give it to somebody else. So these are the issues. They will sharp split that one bit that you probably have paid once. They'll split it into five. You will be paying more. These are things people do in this field. So most times, if you're hiring somebody, you want to be clear what it is that they are giving you, what the deliverables are, so that you will not put yourself in one chance.
Okay. Please, Mr. Mena, it's like you drop details for that next year class. Let's start booking ahead.
Let me drop now. I want to say class. So.
Wow.
Mr. Mena, I
Honestly,
have a question.
Okay.
Although I filled your Google Docs file to about the question, I don't know if you can check it
Okay, we've
out.
not looked at Google Docs today. Oh, that's true. I don't forget I get Google Docs.
So should I go ahead or you just look at it?
Just
My name.
ask. Can I just ask? Time has already gone to be looking at Google Docs. I
Okay,
think you're the only person that probably filled it.
it's my first time actually attending this class since I paid.
Oh, welcome.
So my name is Mr. Promise. So I run a business in Lagos, although I'm based in Abuja. So I run a textile bedding business. Okay, and it's registered as a business name. It's registered as a business name. But I am just thinking, I know even after this call, so I would also need to reach out to you for advice if possible.
Of course,
So
class the end today, especially you go reach out for the next one. After today, this
yeah,
group
no,
has expired
I
in
saw
my
you
eye.
I saw you posted something on the platform about one-on-one consultation.
Okay.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah, go
that's not
ahead.
right. Yeah. Okay, so my question is this. So we do sales in sales, although we have a lot of credits that the business owes, but we do sales as high as 20 million in a month. It can be less, it can be more. And
Okay.
I also want to find out, we're not very good at bookkeeping actually, in terms of I've never filed tax. It's a business name. I've never filed tax. So I just also want to know how well I could start, some practical steps that I could go about in 2026 to help in record keeping and some accounting processes also. And if I would need to switch from a business name to a limited liability company.
Okay. So, sorry, what's the primary activity again?
So we're into beddings, like we sell bed sheets, duvet, curtain.
Okay. So it's a
I
vertible item.
Yes,
In
but we
terms of
don't
your
we don't
bookkeeping,
charge. Sorry, because we don't charge our customers VAT because it's the business is operational in the market area, and we sell in yardage. We sell in yardage. We sell like how before you go into post production and sewing it, bagging it, all those kind of things. So we just sell the materials, and we equally also like put them in finished goods, like in a bag, like ready to use and all those kind of things. So but we have never charged our customers VAT. We have never charged them VAT.
I understand that, but the truth is, it is a vertical business, right? But like I always say, one good thing I like with what they call the business name is the fact that, first of all, right, first things first, you should be paying VAT on every sale, especially since you've crossed the threshold, like you've rightly stated, you've crossed the threshold, right? But what I would like to actually add is, if you think you cannot charge VAT, which you should, again, like what I told the first person, right? It's just a matter of you filing on a budget, right? Compliance is not very strict when it comes to business name, and I've been saying that. That's why I actually like the business name. Number one is because first of all, you really don't have a business name. People don't really do audited financial. If it's a limited liability company now, your financial report will tell them what your turnover is. So they'll just come and tell you 7.5 of your turnover. That's what you're owing us. But for a business name, you really don't have all of those things. So there is a lot of negotiations and discussions and considerations when it comes to business name, because they just assume that, okay, again, you're a small business, you're just trying to find your footings, right? But with large transactions like that, I doubt it will fly. But technically, what I'm just trying to say is they are more lenient towards business name than limited liability. Are you supposed to be filing or charging your customers VAT? Yes, right? How much you pay at the end of the day will not depend on two things: your negotiation skills, right? Basically, and how you plan it. So maybe you can, like I said, pay something on a monthly basis so you don't accumulate penalties. And when they come for regularization, you look for a way to negotiate it, because obviously it is not a debt that you're owing, and if you pay everything, the business will fall, that kind of a thing. So that's basically your story. But are you supposed to be charging? Yes, you're supposed to be charging.
Okay, okay. So does it mean that does it mean come next year I'm supposed to pay for previous years as a business name
No,
owner?
okay. So with that, with respect to that, what I would recommend, right, that you do is, since you've not registered, assuming you've not registered before, right, you can go and
I'm
declare,
registered. Oh wait, when you mean register, you mean with the tax
yeah,
authority?
with tax office. Yes.
Okay, no, I haven't registered.
Okay, so if that is true, you can use the commencement date, right, and wipe out your previous debts. So you can register and declare like this month now as your commencement date, right? So if they do that for you, right, if they agree to do that for you, again, they will probably want to collect something. But if they agree to do that for you, it simply means that prior to that date, you don't have any tax liabilities. So going forward, it's just for you to be filing going forward. So you just put that commencement date at the back of your head, right? And also keep the documents they will give you from the office stating your commencement date.
Okay,
So nobody
okay.
will not tax you based on the previous transactions. What state are you? Where are you?
I'm in Abuja, but my
Oh,
business
okay.
is in Lagos.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it just makes sense if you do it in Lagos, because yeah. Although some
Okay.
people file, some people even register in other states, right, to reduce the disturbance from FRS. I have a few businesses that they're in Lagos, but their office is in Abuja.
Okay. Okay. I think I would have to still do your one-on-one after this. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mena,
Yes.
I have one
I
more
thought you said the
question.
last question. We need to
Sorry,
charge you extra. Eh?
I know.
For any extra question you ask, 5K.
Okay, so is it true? I have been to the tax office one day, and a tax man told me that even if that is following the question the last person asked, that even if you are saying that, oh, my commencement date is January 2025, that they do background check. That when they run a background check on your social media account and they find out that you have been running that social media account for the past 2 years, for example, or the past 3 years, that they are going to charge you penalty based on that the law states that there is somewhere in the law, I have not read it, but there's somewhere in the law that says that, when the business declares to the public that, and part of declaring to the public is social media accounts. So why I'm saying this is a typical example. It's not hypothetical. This
I understand where
business,
you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from.
yeah. So what do you suggest that the person do? Because he talked about paying the debt of the past. So now they're asking this business because he's claiming that commencement date is 2025. And
That's it. The only thing I can tell you, I get where you're coming from. I've had those conversations. The only thing I can tell you, first of all, is that's why you need a consultant. Because you just go there and shoot yourself in the leg. If they tell you this kind of thing, you just be looking at the tax man smiling. But we consultants, we know how we go to, like, if you remember what I told him, right? When you go and register, if now this is very common when they are the ones that caught you. So you've not registered before. So as he is now, as he's not registered, if they write him now, they will want to assess him from the beginning. But if he's going to meet them, he has that, he can control the narrative. That's why I say he will say that I want my commencement date to start from this month, right? So the moment they put him on that system, stating that he has, that's why I said they will not do it for you for free. Because they might also want to do a banger check. So for him not to avoid all the he go wet ground. That is just the reality. Or he will not go and face paying the
exactly.
previous penalty, which is more expensive. I said it when I was talking to him, right? So the decision is basically his to decide which one he wants to go. If you wait for them to come, that one is bad because they won't assess you. Obviously, they don't cash manga now, so they expect you to pay from inception. But if you go yourself, control the narrative, sort them, and get the new commencement date, the moment they put you on their system, right, you're basically covered. If in the future they come, the system says that's when you commence the date. You have a letter from them stating when you commence your business. Nobody's going to fight you. They understand how the thing works, right? So that discussion only comes when, first of all, they are the ones that caught you, and you're not trying to now maneuver. Not saying no, before they even come and before they write you later, obviously they've done their background check. They've some of them. I even have a client that was trying to argue, say, Oga, I buy food from this your client's place the other day. They sometimes they even go as far as ordering from you because I presented I presented a UBA account, I think, and they're like, no, when I buy food from you, they send me a Providence account. You have more than one bank account. So that is what they do. They try as much as possible. They will order from you self to get whatever information they want to get. They do that. I'll tell you for free. So if it's that one, that is when they are coming to meet you. But if you go and meet them, like I've always said, you are controlling the narrative, right? They are open to discuss with you. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Totally.
So that is just the practical side of it.
Yeah, it's just that Nigerians don't. That sorting is the problem. They don't want to pay anything. That's the problem.
But
But
you don't eat their money now. You eat all the tax you're supposed to pay since now. So you either pay that tax or you pay them their whole share of
but
the
yeah,
of the this thing.
I get you. I get you. I get you.
So that's it.
Mr. Mana,
Good
good, eve-
evening.
good evening. Sir, when are you playing that music now? I've been doing it.
I wanted to
I
play
had
because
a
I'm
good
using
laugh earlier
earpiece.
when you said you were going to play music for us. I can't believe like today is going to be like the last class. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I'm not tired of hearing you talk about tax.
Ah.
Yes, now Mr. Mena, do
Enjoy
Jara
my
class
next
for
one,
us now.
though. Eh?
I'm sure even
I
Things
have to
Global
share
that
that
was
the next
asking
year.
questions.
I
She should
put
not
it on the
tired.
group. No, I'm tired though. Today now, my sister they wanted to take me
But
out, but I'm here answering questions, and then they chop Chinese for Lekki there. You see the issue.
yeah, yeah. You tried for us, so like
Oh yeah, come
on
and
a
be
more
going.
serious note. On a more serious note, like I'm giving a very honest feedback. I've really, really learned a lot, like listening to you, answering, like, all those questions and everything. Like I
I'm
think
even learning myself.
last month, what?
I said me myself, I'm learning.
Honestly, I think if last month, if you had asked me like any question relating to tax, like I'm going to be completely clueless. But now I can like engage in, meaningful conversations with people, and it's just so beautiful. Honestly, you really tried for us. And I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you
So
too.
thank you very much.
5 star, 5 star, 5 star.
I beg, when I post my videos so that people will come buy they'll come buy my market.
Well, Mr.
Thank
Mena,
you
I
very
want to
much.
ask, like,
Yeah.
finally, I want to ask you this question. I want to know if you're open to mentorship. I would really love to learn from you.
So the challenge is I work virtually. I really don't have an office at the moment. So
Mm,
it's not like I'm not open to it, but I really don't. I would like say because I know next year is going to be busy for me. Even right now, I said I can even contain the amount of DMs and questions. Though I have about two, okay, sorry, three people on my team currently, right? Yeah, but it's looking like it's not like I'm not open to it, but like I said, I work virtually. Sometimes, if the person does not really have the skills, right, and the work ethics of Nigeria is just challenging. So it's easy for me because who I work with, I just say, okay, I need this thing done. They already understand. They already have my templates. They understand certain things I want and all of those things. Right, but teaching somebody
like,
afresh might just be a bit challenging, especially if they are not present. I don't know if you understand. Although I'm looking
yeah, I
to, but
understand.
the rent now in Lagos, especially because I live in Lekki, so they bring 5-10 million for just office space. Not funny. I
Yeah,
need to sell
I
like
understand.
1,000 copies of this my cost.
Yeah. I understand for someone like me, I'm a recent graduate of accounting, but I have like
Okay.
skills, like I have virtual skills, like I'm a virtual assistant. I do a lot of data entry, designs here and there and all of that. But the main, like the accounting, like aside what we were taught in school, I really do not have
Mm.
and I would really love to learn from someone, but I like have other like skills. So I was thinking maybe I can help you like take some of your workload off your plate and then just, I
And
don't
maybe
know
we
if
can
it's going
discuss
to
it
work.
further. Let's see how you can come in the DMs.
I
And
would really
yeah,
appreciate it. I would really appreciate it, Mr. Mena.
where are you located?
I'm currently in Jos. I used to stay in
Oh,
Lagos,
okay.
but right now I'm currently in Jos.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But this one, that's even another challenge I have with virtual people. Every time my laptop is laid down.
And no, I have 24 hours
See,
nights. Like I do
that
not
is
have
always
problem with
frustrating me. Just this, he said, sorry, my laptop, no light, no
no,
network,
I do
no
not
this
have I
is
do not have
annoying.
problem with power at all. Because I actually
Uh,
work virtually too. I
that's
have
what they
other
will
things
say.
that I'm doing. I do not have problem with power since I also do freelance and other things.
No problem. Well, let's see if we can do something. But mostly maybe next year. But let's discuss in the DMs later.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So we have about
Okay.
10 more minutes before we say our goodbyes.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
All
Yeah,
right, Mr.
great
Mena.
job, great job,
My
Mena.
own question is straightforward.
Uh, okay,
Okay, Mr. Chris, you
okay,
can speak.
okay.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. I just wanted to ask the one for next year that you said you gave a discount for those that took this class. It's still open, I
Yeah.
guess. Okay,
Yes, I
how
just
much?
dropped it in the group.
Okay,
So
okay,
it's 28,000 with a 5,000 naira discount. So that's around
okay. So we
23,000.
can pay 23,000. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, all right then. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Mena, I wanted to ask concerning this withholding tax and payee. Let's say particularly the payee, is it something we pay monthly? That is, if we have staff that we're paying salary, and where do we do
Yes,
it
pay is
exactly?
monthly. Pay is to your state. The state of
Okay.
I would prefer, although they say the state of the individual, but I'll tell you for free, the state where the business is operating, that's where you pay your pay. So imagine now that you have maybe a business, you have branch in Lagos, you have branch in Abuja, so you pay based on each of those branches, right, to the state government.
Okay. Which is the state
Or
tax?
even if you have extra staff now, right, you
Yes.
pay where your the what's it called?
The business
Basically
is registered.
your that's what I would because now you they go disturb. You're not going to go disturb the individual.
Then, how about people that don't have an office space? Maybe they work virtually too.
They're expected to declare your income now. That's the whole idea of the whole tax law. If not, they will come for you. Just because you don't have an office does not mean you should not pay tax now.
Okay.
So yes, it's just so you go and do a self-assessment. Like somebody said was even sending me message before this meeting and say, do tax people send you later via WhatsApp? I was just laughing. They will send you message via whichever means they send via WhatsApp. One of my clients called me like, why is this guy calling me on WhatsApp every 2 minutes? I say, oh no, your account officer. So that's it. So just
Okay.
like you have bank
So, but
account officer, you have FRS account officer too.
yes. Okay. So, but Samena, this payee now, is it paid to FIRS or the state's own
No,
tax
no, it's the state.
board?
It's state. It's state.
So
State,
that means
state
I
is
have to go and
anything
register with the
individual
state.
is state. Yes. So the company will register with the state, then pay it on behalf of the staff.
Okay. So then for the withholding tax, let's say businesses who have crossed the 50 million revenue, who do they pay to for withholding?
And so for withholding, you pay to what's it called? You pay to federal. So it depends on who you are withholding the tax from. If you are withholding it from an individual, you pay to the state. If you are withholding it from a business entity, you pay it to federal government.
Okay. Samena, this one will it be covered in this new one you're
So I have
launching?
a course I'm working on now. So that one, everything will be spelled out, all the different taxes, all the strategies. So the reason why I'm even actually holding on, I'm still engaging in discussion so that I actually know, okay, what are the challenges, what people need answers for, and all of this. So this is a learning process for me. So I would have easily done the course before all of these discussions and do what I feel people want to know, right? And just
Yes.
be speaking jargons. But I really wanted to engage with people so I understand so that anybody that picks my course doesn't even need to talk to me.
Samena, I can help you with that feedback. Oh, I can pour out our heart for you. So,
No problem. Maybe that's even what I want to. So I'm even the curriculum now. Even before I start this, I will also see post it on our group so that anybody that has other things to add and all of that. So that I'm trying to build something, or should I say, create a course that is actually for business owners, not something I will just go and sleep. That's the idea. It's also another
wow.
extra source of income for me now. I'll just sit down and be collecting free money. At
Yes,
least let me also
yes.
be making 100 million like you people.
Amen. We are getting there.
Hello.
Hello, good
Yeah,
evening.
Mr. Nal, good evening. My name is Judobi. I just want to ask a question about compliance. I just opened a business name. I'm just setting up so that I want to just put things in place this year, so that next year as I see how things are going, I'll be able to navigate. So what should I do to stay compliant in a business name? Like, do I have to file that zero every month, or what do I
Yes,
do?
it's not zero every month.
Okay, so I just opened the company on the 15th of this month. So will it be this month, or how do they do it? I mean,
So technically, it should drop next month.
okay, so
You should,
next month,
yeah. So when you open at the moment you can't even open without FRS. So you already have a portal, I guess.
I guess so, because before I opened it, they had to tell me the bank had to tell me I had to go and do something with
Exactly.
FIRS, which
So
they did,
you should
and I
just
got it.
follow up with that.
Yeah, but the account has been opened, so I'm just trying to know what I would do to just stay compliant as I'm watching what's happening.
So what you just do is be filing the zero. That's all you have to do.
Okay, so do I need to because I don't live in Nigeria, do I need to set it up in a computer, or I need to get a tax consultant to be doing that on behalf for now,
You
or how?
can actually do the filing of zero yourself. I think I did a demo at the beginning of the class how to do that. You
Okay,
don't because
so
although
oh,
so let me say myself, I do it to I charge like 20K per month, but I bill annually. So I charge like about
no, but
240K for the year.
yeah, but I heard business name is
But it's
but
something
I
you can
heard
do for
business
yourself.
name is the head business name is just, I mean, like it has to do with the state, or you still have to do that tax pro max. How do you do it? You go to
You
the
have to do
office.
tax payments now. It's a business this thing now. You have to. It's more like you're informing them. It's more like you telling them, oh, I'm doing business, but I've not gotten up to 50 million naira yet. You get the
Okay.
point. So that's the compliance.
Oh, okay. So let me look at your video now, see what's going on down then, so that I'll know if to engage you or just look at how I'm gonna go
No, so
about it.
if it's for VAT, honestly, especially when you're filing zero, it's not a lot of stress, right? Unless you just don't want to bother yourself, right?
No, like
It's
I
not
said, I'm
a
just looking at the compliance. I've not started anything with that. Just set up. I just want
okay.
to watch what's going to happen next year. You understand?
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so I just want to set it up. I just want to know my compliance. So just 50, right?
Yes, just for zero. You're good to
Okay,
go.
okay then. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's about it. Okay, we have like 5 more minutes. Mm. And we'll
Yeah,
call it
Mina.
a day. Yes,
Yeah, Mina.
please.
Will it make more sense
Good
to
evening.
like open? Good evening, Mina. Will it make more sense to like open more business names instead of upgrading to a limited liability company?
Why are you opening more businesses?
Okay, for instance, just to, for instance, if it
Split
is
your
too
income.
exactly for so as to because okay to avoid the situation
Why,
when you to be
why
filing
do I
for.
like Tinubu? You know, good now. Eh? When I give
Um,
Tinubu na money now. Eh? You know, good
money,
though.
the money is much now.
How is it much when you never the calculation? You know,
So, that,
this people are doing Tinubu is not good.
so
It's not
Mr. Mina,
good.
I'm
Eh?
asking, would that make sense? Would that help?
It works now. If you can split your revenue under 50 million, technically it works. I cannot tell you it does not work, right? It simply means you have different businesses. And none of
Okay,
those businesses has reached the vertical volume. I will not say it does not work, but it's stressful. If you grow the way God wants you to grow now, how many accounts you want to open? But it works if that's if that's what you actually, because it's different business. You are not going to
okay,
tie all your businesses together.
okay, okay. Okay, very well then. Thanks so much.
good evening, Mr. Mina.
What do you mean?
Yeah, for the crypto exchange, we are still waiting for the solution you said you're going to send to us.
Funny enough, the solution. So I've been advertising it on my page now, TradePal, but we are launching in January.
Okay. But before you know, is there
Yeah.
anything we need to put in place before January?
And so the year has already gone now. It's just for you to maybe just get if you are not inside with the tax authorities and all of that, you might be so first of all, right, for crypto, like I've been always pushing crypto, financial services, real estate, some of all those high risk businesses, I strongly recommend limited liability. So if you are not already in a limited this thing, I would recommend that you register one, right? Then you basically don't need to operate it, at least to just cover yourself. Next year, you cannot begin operations, right, with the limited liability, and you are good to go. So it just shows that okay, you started operations next year. Then for before you even start talking about filing of income tax, because obviously crypto is not vatable, right? It's not a vatable business. You will not be filing your taxes in 2017. I mean 2027. So that is basically, if you ask for my recommendation, that's what I would tell you.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Well, if you check my page now, I think I've even done 2 videos for them. TradePal, you can follow them for updates, right? I am part of the team and we're building something for crypto people because at the moment there's really no solution for this, and I've represented a number of them. Even ESC is a bit disturbing, so I understand the
I got it.
challenges.
A big time now.
Uh, and next year they go worse because they now have access to your data. So basically, what the platform does, it just help you reconcile all of your this thing. So there's an AI chat this thing that as you are making all of those transfers, screenshots, everything. So you just basically after your what's it called, your transactions, talk to the AI, it will help you record it at least separate the margin from the capital this thing that you're using. Even when you make losses, right?
Yeah.
Everything you at the end of the day you get your net profit which you use to file your taxes.
Okay, so I'll go to your page. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it's very good. Okay, my time is up. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll miss all of you. If at all I have any updates, I can be dropping it on the group from time to time. If body sweet me, I will answer some questions, but I go sell my course for and I'm gonna come buy the second one. Make account of self. Thank you very much, everybody, and I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to all of you and learn from you. Uh, so
Well
I'm
done,
not really good
Mr.
with
Thank
speeches.
you.
I'm not good with speeches, but yeah. Good night, and
Great
do
job.
have a lovely weekend ahead.
Thank you
Okay,
very
good
much,
night, sir.
Mr. Mena.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Mena. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.